right, guys, welcome back. You're still tuned in to Funtastic Fridays here on News Talk 93 FM. And you know we're here with you every single Friday, and all the Friday them win on the Friday. Don't ask me no question, I can't explain that. From 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. All right. So, you know, from you hear that song that, you know, it's time for Talk the Ting with Kim. And the discussion we'll be having this week is, are arguments good in a relationship?
Yeah.
What do you think? Are they healthy for your relationship? So before we even get into it, guys, know that we love a discussion. We love feedback. We love the interaction. So we really want to hear your perspective. And we're looking forward to learning from you just as much as you guys are learning from us. All right? So ensure you keep the comments coming. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them as well. We are definitely open to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you guys think? Before we even get into the details, are arguments healthy for your relationship?
Boy, Kim, I think this one is a very tricky one, because arguments, they actually already sound like a bad thing.
Yeah, because arguments is deemed as something bad.
Yeah.
So then you don't put healthy and something bad in the same sentence,
it
right?
Sounds weird. And then sometimes I would assume that, you know, we're going to talk about a balance, you know? So arguments, a little bit, medium, what is a lot? How much is a little, you know? Like, where do we draw the line? What is good? What is bad? We're going to have to find out more, Kim. You're going to have to talk to me.
Well, I like that Carty so far said, I don't think so. I don't think arguments are healthy. And Tiffy said, yes, it can be, because you can know what someone truly feels about you. I like these points.
And then it's rough, because sometimes some hurtful things can come out in arguments.
Exactly. And sometimes it's not what they really think.
They're
just being hurtful.
Are those hurtful things honest?
Exactly.
You know, Jamaicans say if it not go so, it near go so.
It go near, exactly.
So,
you might have said it's not joke and all them something.
Yeah.
Say,
It's very tricky, Kim. I think it's very tricky.
Well, I think it's a discussion worth having. I'm going to ask Lionel to just keep track of the WhatsApp chat if there's any comments there.
I'm there.
But Carty said discussions are better, not arguments. But sometimes, Carty, before you even get to the discussion, an issue had to happen for you to know there's a discussion that's needed. So there's different levels to it and different perspectives.
Yeah.
As Tiffy said, as long as it's not blown out of proportion. Well, I love the feedback so far, so let's get into the content, right?
All right.
So is it normal to fight every day in a relationship? All right, that part of me, I think this healthy. Why do I do it every day?
Every day. And then that's the thing, you know, because I mean, if you're in a relationship like 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say, for example, 1 year.
Yeah.
It might seem that you argue every day, even though you might not. You know?
It feels like every day.
Because it does happen so often at times.
It might be that, or it might also be that after the arguments, nothing is resolved. So you
so
are carrying this. Yeah. So you might not say it, you know, but yeah, carry it. As I'm saying, hold it, you know? Yeah, you have them up. And as such, because now for the week, now you're not chat because you still feel away from Sunday when you said that thing there, and you know when you said that it upset me. So we might feel like it's an everyday thing because you're now going the rest of the week having the person up, barely communicate them, say, boy, dinner done.
So it drags on.
Looking at the kitchen now. Instead of saying, yes, dinner is done. Looking at the kitchen now. Well, you're blind. You can't go look for yourself. You know, those look at pettiness. And then those now seem like new arguments. But sometimes I found the same problem. Yeah? So we're going to get into it. And as Tiffy said, some arguments turn into fights though. So we don't really want to reach them levels there, right?
And then, I mean, there are like a little bit of duality, because sometimes when people say, oh, we had a fight yesterday, you have physical fight and you have where it's basically just an argument, but because the expression fight just mean a disagreement sometimes.
Yeah, because sometimes it can be the silent treatment, but somebody's be like, oh,
yeah, we had a fight
my girlfriend
yesterday.
A fight again.
Yeah, but we got to specify now, people, when it's physical. So when we say arguments and fights, unless we say physical before it, we just mean, you know, a dispute. Right?
And sometimes not even an argument, sometimes just a heated discussion.
Yeah.
So we're just speaking aggressively, but we're not, of course.
Yeah.
We're to get a point across, right? So to answer the question, is it normal to fight every day in a relationship? The answer is yes and no.
Okay.
Constant fighting in a relationship is uncomfortable, but there will always be reasons to fight.
Okay.
The specific type of arguments in a relationship determines how the relationship grows. For instance, arguments that lead to physical fights or infliction of injury or peeing on one's partner is awful.
Yeah, we don't support that.
We're not in that one.
That we are talking about.
Similarly, an argument aimed at belittling and ridiculing one's partner is also detrimental to the relationship. Despite these, there are healthy fights. So you have the one then completely, like, I think should
toxic.
Be off limits. So we not get physical, you know, we not, unless it's the song, let's get physical.
Well, that usually takes place after the argument. But anyway.
But yeah, we're not talking about that one though. We're talking about the aggression and it moved from the cussing to physical.
Throwing stuff and
hands are
hitting
swing, fling thing. We're not into that.
No. That already is toxic.
And then the verbal one is just as bad. When you're down, you're belittling somebody or you're ridiculing somebody, or you're making them feel stupid.
That's why you're blah, blah, blah. So,
or are you really continuing them foolishness? But it's a real problem, you know.
Fool like, blah, blah, blah. We know when the people are
know it. So that is also just as serious as the physical fights. So couples aiming to improve their relationship must argue once in a while because they are overcoming disagreements. Typical arguments in a relationship are about differences, dislikes, and behaviors. So those are like the main reasons. The differences, because we grow differently.
Of course.
So you might believe, say, you know, bed fee. You know how people spread bed differently. Some people fold down the top of the sheets and it have the hotel look there. And some fold it just flat.
All the way over,
I do that. But then Lionel might say, okay, I like when they spread the bed. So I tell them I prefer it the way. And I might not see a big deal about it. So those are the differences and upbringing. Then you have the dislikes. The things that, boy, probably...
I don't like when you bite your nails.
Exactly. You know, or you like party every night. You have a party, so. Or you probably know the house too much. So every day you want to stay home. You know, those are the differences as well. Then you have behaviors. It might be a habit. As you said, the biting the nail. Or
biting the nail, what do we call a habit? I think the habits now would be like, the
behaviors can be like, let's say something, I don't like you texting girls.
I think that would be more behaviors,
Or why are you always nonchalant when I bring up an issue? You just brush me off.
Stomping and slamming the door.
Exactly. Or like sometimes trying to talk to you and you just like, ignore me. Those are the behaviors. So these are the main reasons or main things that we argue about, right? So you should expect it since a typical relationship involves two unique individuals from different backgrounds. Besides, healthy arguments help you improve and be a better person. After every argument, couples must find a way to come back together and compromise to build a positive relationship.
That's the important part.
So I was going to say, I think that's the biggest part. So firstly, arguments actually help you to improve because I always say, sometimes it's not until somebody points something out I notice a problem with it. So I might be every day coming in here and let's say we call Lionel a certain nickname or something and I just see it as fun. And Lionel might come to me one day and say, okay, Marina, like when you call me that. But all along, I thought this was fine. And then we said, all right, you know what? I now learn, say, you have to respect people. You know, some people really value their name and it's their identity. So now, going forward, I can't call Lionel, you know, I mean, like what you guys called him once or twice, Lionel. You probably don't like that, right? So now you learn to respect people's boundaries, you know, going back to the topic last week. Respect boundaries and, you know, you become a better person overall. So arguments, if dealt with properly, improves you and helps you to become a better person. And
you learn about the person. I mean, a disagreement comes, but it's where you go after the disagreement.
Exactly. One of the discussions we had in the past said couples need to remember it's not you against the other. It is both of you against the problem. And that changes the perspective. So it's not about me and you vex and, you know, I'm not chat to you because you're not getting my perspective. It's like, all right, you know what? Clearly we have an issue. Clearly we need to sort this out. How are we going to sort this out? Not one of you, not one going to just ignore and give silent treatment and the next person, you know, I can't bother. Every time you just give silent treatment. No. We'll work together. How we going to fix this?
And then it can probably add something to that one, as you say. It's both of you against the problem that's keeping you apart. So you want to get back together.
And
so
that's
the aim.
And that's the second part. That most of us, after arguments, we don't work on to get back together. You know what most people do? And I think it's really unhealthy. You see that thing called makeup sex? Makeup sex doesn't repair. It's a band-aid.
Alright, but hold on, Kim.
In some aspects, I think it's a band-aid.
Alright, let's pause, Kim. Because you see, when you say makeup sex or whatever now, when you say makeup sex, you have to consider that the situation has actually been made up.
No.
Because
sometimes it's not.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So correctly, when it's done correctly, no problem. But if you guys,
even then,
I would call it, if it's not done after you guys make up properly, then makeup sex is a makeup sex.
So it's called band-aid sex.
Yeah, it's band-aid sex,
band-aid sex
or cover-up sex. Because you basically do it to get the other one to shut up.
Yeah, you can't bother and you just want,
Yeah. All right, stop it talking now. Boom. Hold that.
Hold on. That is, hold on. Why does that sound like that? No. No, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm judging you for that, right?
That's what I'm going to road.
No,
so I've heard.
So you heard?
So I've heard. Word on the streets.
I can't bother.
Yeah, right,
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let me drink some water.
Yeah, take a sip.
Let me drink some water.
That's how some people solve their problems. Once a problem comes up, then, draw for lingerie or draw for flowers, and then bam,
and that,
we're happy
literally
again. And the situation's still there. Yeah.
Literally. So yeah, I think that's one of the major parts of arguments. We're not recovering from arguments well. So a lot of us, like I can speak to, Kim in the past. Past Kim would have held on to stuff. Like me and you to argue today, and for peace sake, me just drop it.
Yeah.
But it never really dropped.
It just kind of there under the rug.
It just did it. And as I said, women like add up everything. Yes, I was that woman. Right? So it's like probably we have an argument 3 months from now. Just notice the argument we're having is a combination.
Wow.
It's like a combo.
And then people
piece of this and piece of that and piece of this.
Yeah, people and yeah, persons that do that, they save it up, man. They
man, add it up, man. And that's why most of us, that's why we lose with cool, because it's not that this issue is the issue, There were issues bubbling from before, and we say, you know what? And you know what we do? We watch. Most of us, especially when we're in relationships, and we say, all right, we're going to pre you.
I'm going to do it again.
Watch you. And then in the whole watching there, you're sitting and maybe you know if you go so, but because you have a certain mindset that you're looking for an issue, Lana probably decides, or forget for call you and say, say, me work late and just show up late and come late the night, and you pre it.
Yeah.
Then 2 weeks from now, you go party and you rise and dance with one girl. You start link things. One never even need to get linked.
And then all of a sudden, now, today, he never wash the dishes. Okay. So you realize you change your ways.
Yes.
You stop wash dishes. You dance with girl. Everything does come together now.
You come home late. And you combine everything, and that's a whole new argument. And Lana, they're like, we are talking about all this link.
Because, yeah.
So I've heard men say, listen, men, we have different compartments in our brain, and we only open one box at a time.
Yeah.
They said, ladies, we have boxes in our brain, but all of them connected by some wire, and everything link up. So every issue I ever encounter is going to be tied into that argument. I think there's some truth to it. Yeah. Carty says, Lana, do not repeat everything you hear. Sound too much like experience. Listen, Carty, that's what I was over here feeling. I don't know about you.
I watch a lot of shows on TV, a lot of Netflix.
That's what they all say, right? So the important, or one of the main, or I would say most important parts, is the recovery after an argument. Because an argument is not bad,
Yeah.
It's how you deal with it, right? So 10 reasons arguments are healthy for your relationship.
All right, let's look at those.
Number 1, arguing strengthens the relationship.
Why?
That's all right.
That sentence just sounds so strange.
So arguments.
Honey, let's strengthen our relationship.
Let's argue. No, let's not go on a date.
Yeah.
Let's not have a weekend together. Let's argue.
And I think ladies sometimes start arguments for fun, No,
I've heard some do that. I can't attest because...
So are they rich? So you call those ladies relationship builders?
I don't know. I call them toxic, but that's my perspective, right? Because I think life have enough problems and relationship have enough problems.
Will pop up on their own.
And it will pop up, so why me create? Yeah. The relationship too peaceful, Let me just get bring up. For what? Yeah. And you have literally women, or also men.
Yeah, both sides.
I've heard it more with women that literally live like that. No, I like the peace.
Yeah.
I don't want peace. I want problems.
Always.
As Carty says, sound like a parable, right?
Yeah.
So arguing actually can strengthen the relationship, right? So is arguing good in a relationship? If it strengthens the bond, then yes. One of the reasons to fight in relationships is because it strengthens the bond between couples.
Yeah.
Healthy and constructive arguing allows each person to air their views and express themselves without abuse or violence. Fights like this will only help the couple to become better people. Also, it allows the couple to settle their differences on time, see a clearer sky, and understand each other better.
Yeah.
So sometimes, after it's like this, when you experience something a bit difficult together, and you work through it together, you sort of get closer to the person. That's the way that argument can bond you.
Yeah.
But that's how we said recovery is important, because if you're not recovering properly, it will actually do the opposite. You'll push each other apart. Because some people is like, I've spoken to people and I said, but it's like they accept the argument as the person's personality. Every day we go, she just cuss.
Exactly.
I'm gonna say, but why are you there?
Why not do something? No, but why not do something so that she cusses a little less?
Exactly. Or have discussions and understand why she cuss, right? Yeah. Why just accept it as a personality trait? For some people, or for most people, I don't think it's a personality trait. Well,
because I was gonna say for some it probably is though.
Yeah, for some, no. Some people just
some people can be happy. May I tell you, they could be the happiest person in the world, and then there's a little dust on a windowsill. Oh my gosh, the house is so dirty. We never clean it. You never clean it. And trust me, I know some people it's possible, but
some people just arguments.
It's not an everybody
their personality,
thing,
but not everybody. So my thing is, instead of accepting or telling somebody, say, yeah man, she just miserable. She just
find out
why. Have conversations. What is it that we're missing? What connection we need to make?
How can we fix this?
Right? And as Carty said, my recovery feel like coma. Hold on, what? You sleep talk, Carty? Is that what you're saying?
Carty, do you sleep away the argument?
Right?
Carty, the man come be like, hold on.
She's like, hold on.
I'm going to be back in a second.
And that.
And the line of sleep.
Go draw for your pillow. You go and talk.
Yeah. I'm going to
lay down.
Yeah.
And I'll sleep.
Yeah. I'm going to talk to you back in a few.
Exactly. Right? So that's one way. If it is that you recover the right way, arguments can help the bond, because I get to understand more. As I say, Lionel, let's say for example, I call him a nickname and don't like it. Yeah. Until he highlights that, me not gonna know no better. Right? And then the fact that I stop calling him that name he doesn't like, he will appreciate me more.
Yeah, he said, oh, she's so considerate.
Exactly. Yeah. And I will also be a bit more cognizant. At least I have to be very careful. I can't assume that because I think something is okay, it's okay for him. Yeah. Most of us like to do that, especially women. We like to make the decisions in relationships. And we think
we wrap up the relationship for you quick and fast.
Yeah, man. We decide everything. We're like, babe, I feel like you need to go to the doctor. I feel like you need to... And we just decide things. We don't discuss.
You're not communicating to me as much as you should. And that's it enough. That's one-sided enough.
Or if you're upset, instead of asking our partners why them upset. You're upset because... And we'll tell you what you're upset about. Yeah. We've been guilty of this. Yeah, I can attest to that.
Ladies will just come home. You know what? I'm not even going to talk to you because I know you're upset.
Because I know you're upset.
Just saying. Like, you never do that yet, Like, what
or you just quiet and say, what me do? What me do? Me do something, don't it? No, me just quiet. No, you can't tell me that. I did something. Yeah, we don't ask questions sometimes. We just say.
Are you okay? No. They tell you you're not okay.
We tell you and we try to tell you why you're not okay. And now when you tell me why you're vexing, no, Kim vexed because no another you vex for.
Yeah, we know the right answer. Ladies are fun. I don't know how else to put it.
Right, we're interesting. Yeah. That's why we must have one at a time, okay? That's my stance. Well, I don't know why now, man.
If you say ladies are interesting, you kind of advertising for more than one.
No, that's not what I mean. Okay. If you were following the context clues, good. You would get why them say is one the woman you must have. Yeah. Because that's
excitement,
dynamism. Yeah. Just work with one. Yeah. All right. So arguing can strengthen your relationship. Number 2, arguing actually creates trust between partners.
Oh,
what do you think about that?
All right. Now, where would the trust come in for that now, Kim?
Well, I think if it is that I say something to you, we argue about and we can find a solution, I feel a bit more confident in the fact that you hear me out. You may have actually made an adjustment. So let's say, for example, I tell you something like every time you come in, you fling your clothes on the sofa. And then you stop doing that. No, I feel a bit more confident. Like, Lionel, listen to me.
Okay.
Or, you make the effort. Or even if it is that we don't even find a quote-unquote solution, but we respect each other. You know what? Fine. I don't see a big issue with the clothes being on the couch. And you do, but guess what? We're going to find a middle ground. You know what I mean? I'll always do it, but I'll try to make a better effort. So, you know what I mean? Say completely fixing it. Yeah. But probably out of 7 days of the week, I know 4 days a week.
You trust that the person's trying.
So it actually builds, and you say, we can talk. And I feel like whenever I talk,
You
I'm
listen.
not made to feel like a problem.
Yeah.
I'm not made to feel like, where is you come with now? You're actually listening to me. We're actually communicating. That's why you can build trust in arguments.
Okay.
That's what I think. Before even going through the content,
Yeah.
that's my perspective. It makes sense? You agree?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. So is it healthy to never fight in a relationship? What do you think about that?
That's going to be very rare, very strange, very unique. And then, if you don't have a little argument once in a while in a relationship, that kind of seems like somebody is suppressing something.
Somebody not be themselves.
Somebody not talk. Somebody kind of hush them out and try to cover up with
them.
And then one day, you know what happens under pressure?
Yes.
Explosion.
Pressure bust pipe.
Okay.
Right? So is it healthy to never fight in a relationship?
I think so.
Nope. It just means that you and your partner are not communicating well and may not trust each other completely. As Kati said, it's not possible and have to argue.
Yeah.
As them said, teeth and tongue
Must meet.
Exactly.
Why?
Right?
Though? Anyway.
Must meet at some point.
I mean, okay.
Another reason arguing in a relationship is encouraged is that it strengthens trust, as we said. Constant arguing in a relationship that allows you to express yourself only helps you trust your partner more.
Right.
It makes you embrace confrontation more, knowing you are dealing with a reasonable person who will only try to understand. Besides, you won't feel like your relationship will be threatened. Being able to survive every fight gives you more assurance about the relationship. It means you're honest with each other. And I agree with this because I remember I was at the point, I was much younger. I was not at a point where there were things I brought up, and then because I was made to feel like, okay, my create problem, I start with it.
Yeah.
I now say it, 'Cause I didn't feel like I had that space where I could say these things and it was listened to. It was more like, boy, every day coming something,
Because you said never fight, that no matter so pattern.
Exactly. So somebody now be honest, right? And we're not saying that you need to go look for fights because some people are just naturally not very argumentative.
Yeah, not at all.
But you cannot exist completely without fight. So I don't think there's like an outline like, okay, if you don't have at least 4 fights a month.
Yeah, there's no. That's what I'm trying to find out, Kim. We need to get. We're gonna get a specialist. We're gonna do a follow up on this topic, hopefully, and we need a specialist to kind of give us an idea as to how we can judge the level of arguments. Is this too much? Is this because where are we going, people? Yeah, I mean there must be some signs to say. If this is happening, you kind of need to get some counseling or get some help
and
or
that's something that a lot of us don't believe in, and also believe we can't afford. But counseling is something that we need to consider, right? Kasi said, Kim, use another word, not fight, because all me here is physical.
No, you see, that's what I'm telling you guys. Remember, once we say fight in this country, we're just talking about a disagreement.
Exactly.
Right? So
we're going to say disagreement. I'm going to try my best to remember to say that.
Or say argument. But, that's what we mean. Unless we're tossing physical, and we already cleared that up already. We're not
talking about the physical. So at no point in this are we suggesting that a physical fight is an outcome or a suitable solution. No.
We're just talking relationship as in a spat.
Exactly.
Dispute.
Hold on, a spat the sound. That will cause fight, physical fight. So careful with that spat there. Right? So we're talking about disagreements. Let's work with that.
And Kimmie, you made a point in that section there, because you said that, going through these disagreements, these arguments, and, being able to, find each other, or compromise, and
understand each other
it kind
more.
of builds you to say, we've been through a lot, but that's kind of a bad thing for some people. When they go through all the battering and struggle and, we've been through a lot, so let's continue to press on through a lot. So some people get that mixed up to say,
I saw that meme where somebody was like, we've been together for 15 years. And when you see the vehicle barely...
Vehicle mash up. It's not healthy.
Just to tell somebody we've been together for 15 years, that's not healthy.
Yeah, so we're not talking about the type of, as we said, the toxic kind of arguments and things that
if you're arguing about the same thing all the time.
Well, definitely that should be a sign. If you keep on, if it's over a month or still arguing about the same little chicken in the fridge,
or the same chicken or the same, that can be something that you have to have either a deeper discussion about or seek a mediator.
I think so,
or something, because arguments with different things, that's one thing. I think that's healthier. But if every week, me and argue about money,
Yeah.
If every week, me I tell you, say, boy, me not trust a girl the way you talk to, you know. If every week we talk about, babe, me tired of you put the clothes on the bed, you know, or take off your shoes. If every week that, then, you know, say, those arguments, it need more work. It need deeper, what them say, consultation.
You need a deeper look.
Or you need, you need some intercession. Yeah, whatever them call it.
And then Ab say again, Ab says, argue about the same topic. That kind of means the issue was never resolved.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. I believe a lot of relationships, some of the new issues is not because there's really a new issue. You know,
the first one never resolved.
Weren't resolved.
So they must see something else to bring it up back.
Exactly. And guess what? The other thing, you know, might not even be a serious thing, but we will amplify it because we already, it's like, instead of you enter a situation with 0% anger, you already have a 25 or a 40% anger.
You have a jump start already.
You already have a jump start. Some anger there from day one. So anything you do, because you ever did, like, let's say for example with our parents, it has happened. You do something and on some days, let's say you drop a mug. And it's okay, honey. You know, mugs are fragile. And on a different day, depending on the day they had, you mash up the place and you just careless up. And because
you just mash up everything in the house.
Exactly. And chances are there were things that they were dealing with. So it's not because you dropped the mug, you know, but it added on to the problem, right? So these are things we need to consider. We're going to go to the 7:30 break, but we have a whole lot more to discuss. I love the feedback coming in. I love the comments. So keep them coming. Are arguments healthy for your relationship? We'll be right back.